Very exciting times are ahead of the underwater imaging industry and everyone who's taking photos or videos underwater, thanks to Nauticam's brand new extended macro wide lens. In this video, we'll have a closer look at what this system is and where and how we can use it. Coming up. Hi and welcome to the Underwater Filmmaking's NewsFlash for the month of September. And what a month it will be. We've got something really cool to look at today. Today we'll be looking at the brand new extended macro wide lens by Nauticam. We've got a couple of pieces here on our table that we'll assemble in a minute, and we'll see how it looks finished and assembled and ready to go. Now, why would you use this very interestingly looking lens, and what results can you expect from using this lens underwater for your photography and also for your videography? Now, the lens is, as the name says, a extended macro wide lens. So this basically means that you can capture a macro critter or something really small very dominantly in your frame, but at the same time also have the surroundings around your main object in frame and also in focus, and that's something very unique and special. When would you use a lens like this? Let's say you want to get very close to a small animal like a pygmy seahorse or a blenny. Now, until now, trying to get very close to an animal like this with your large camera rig underwater, it was very likely to scare the animal and not being able to get the shot that you wanted. But now, because, and you will see it in a minute, you get quite a bit of a reach with this instrument in front of your camera, you will be able to get much closer to the animals without actually scaring them. At least that's what the theory says, and what the first pictures that we've seen show us that it actually does work. I'm actually really curious to find out myself once we jump into the water with this and test it out for ourselves. Something very unique about this system also is that you can focus right to the front element of your lens. So there's no minimal focusing distance, which is absolutely fantastic. You can get your object right in front of your lens and it will be sharp as it can get. Now let's have a look at how we assemble this thing and what it all consists of. At this stage you've got different camera systems that the extended macro wide lens will work with. It's basically Sony system, it's the Canon system, and it's the Micro Four Thirds system or the Nikon system that this system is optimized for. You've got a bayonet system that gets put onto your macro port. Obviously, because it is a macro lens, it only works with dedicated macro ports. There's very specific macro ports that will work with this system. You can find all the details on which ports work with this system on Nauticam's website. We'll link it down in the video description below, and you can go and check it out for yourself and see which systems or which macro lenses will work with this system. So once you've got that mounting system on here, the bayonet mount, you got a first module that gets put onto here. It's so brand new, I'm still struggling putting it on. So having this module on here, what this module does, it is a converter that is specifically made for this camera sensor and this macro lens. So depending on what camera and what lens you're using, this one will change. The second part is the middle part here that gets just put in here, and you can see already that the weight shifts to the front of my entire system. But not to worry, Nauticam has announced some flotation device that they will supply, that we can attach to the front element to make this neutrally buoyant. But for the time being, I will have to use my finger here to support it to show you guys. Well, basically what this element does is it turns the picture the right way around again, because for some reason the picture taken with this system gets turned upside down. This element here is simply to turn it the right way around again. You could actually use the system without the middle part here, but you would end up with a upside down image, an upside down frame on your viewfinder or your screen. The last part, this one here, is where the magic happens, because this part is the macro wide angle lens itself, and we've got three different variations here. We've got one with 60 degrees, we've got one with 100 degrees, and we've got one with 130 degrees field of view. This one is the 130 degrees field of view. So we'll attach this one as well. It clicks in, and now we're ready to go and shoot some awesome footage underwater. Who wouldn't like going into the water with a set like this? Honestly, I can't wait to test this myself and take it into the water. This just looks insane. So let me show you a few sample images, what you can expect to get out of a system like this. Now these images will scroll through the website of Nauticam, and you can have a quick look through some of their images that they've been putting up on their website. So you basically get a bit of an idea on what you can expect when shooting with a system like this. Now I was also trying to find some sample video footage that I can show you in this spot, and I have to say I couldn't really find any video footage being taken with this setup anywhere on the net. So I conclude that there hasn't really been much video footage taken with this setup. And that brings me to the next point, that we will actually take some underwater video footage with this exact setup this week, and it will be on this channel later on this Thursday. So if you don't want to miss out on seeing what video footage looks like with this piece of new equipment, and also get a quick review on how the handling actually works underwater, because right now I think it's an amazing piece of gear and it looks really cool. I can't wait to take it underwater, but at the same time I am a little skeptical on how well it handles underwater. We'll definitely need to do something to increase the buoyancy at the front part here, so it'll be easier to stabilize underwater. And we'll also have to think of how to get the light from here all the way up to the front. Whereas Nauticam has actually announced that there is photos on their website about this as well, that they're making a system where you can attach two strobes or two lights and a pilot light or a snoot light onto basically the middle part, I think it is, of the rig itself, that will bring the light much closer to where the lens starts. So I'm very curious to find out how the thing works. From the specs that I've seen, from the look and feel that I've had today, I think this is gonna be amazing and a fantastic piece of gear that will enable us to shoot completely different footage that we haven't been able to achieve anywhere and anytime before. Now, talking price with this new setup with Nauticam, it is definitely not on the cheap side. You've got 3 modules that you can, or you should get, and then obviously the front part, there's again 3 different variations of it. So you're looking at somewhere between 3,500 up to around 5,500 US dollars, around about that range to get this piece of equipment. We'll see whether or not it is really worth that investment in our exclusive test that we'll do later on this week. Right, enough with the extended macro wide lens for now. I know I don't want to give it away and put it aside either, but we have a second piece of equipment, a second piece of new equipment that I'd like to talk about in this news flash, and it's maybe not as exciting as Nauticam's new piece of gear, but still it can be very useful when filming underwater, specifically when filming underwater. I'm talking about the color checker that has been released by Keldan just recently. Now, what is the color checker? The color checker is a tool to help us with white balancing our footage underwater. On one side, you've got a neutral gray slate that you can use to actually set your white balance in the first place, in the different depth ranges that you're at. And then you've got the color checker itself that you can place in the frame when you start off with your shot. And then you've got color references that you can use to match your color in post-production. Now, why is this special? Because Keldan has decided to use the very popular X-Rite color checker, and they've molded it with the neutral gray card into a piece that is really sturdy and just made to be used underwater. It's nice and small. It's not one of these huge white balancing cards that some underwater filmmakers carry with them. You can easily put that into your pocket, have it with you wherever you go, and just pull it out and quickly do a proper white balancing and a color reference on your footage at the same time as well. So definitely very recommendable from our side. If you don't have a white balance slate or if you're looking at upgrading, this is certainly a good option. The Keldan color checker is not the cheapest white balancing slate that you can get on the market, costing around $160 US, but I still think that it is worth the money simply because it is made for the use underwater. And that was it, our news flash for the month of September 2020. Thank you very much for being with us, and as always, I hope that you got something out of this video. I hope you enjoyed our news flash this month. If that's the case, please do hit that like button and also consider subscribing to the channel so you're not missing out on any future videos that will come out on this channel. In particular, the video where we'll be testing the new extended macro wide lens by Nauticam, something that I'm really looking forward to. And if you're thinking about getting one of these, you better start saving. Thanks for watching again, and I will see you in the next one.